record. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our fifth podcast of Soulmates and Suitcases. I'm Lisa Brierley, and usually Scott's the one introducing us. So this is my amazing husband, Scott. Introduce yourself.
I'm Scott Brierley. I'm an author. I'm a coach. I've been a hard worker most of my life, and my life took a huge transformation a few years ago. And my, I guess my goal in life is to inspire people that life can be different. We don't need to stay in the rut that we live in. And I truly believe, for me anyways, I had to get pushed to the wall on everything. I had to push everything to the wall to the point that I even got diabetes. And which I needed to learn how to eat proper or different. And we have Lynette here. She's going to share her story about supplement or ingredients, additives in food. And that's what life's about, is learning, changing, and growing and stretching our comfort zone.
So again, welcome to our podcast, everyone. You can catch us on our YouTube channel at the Brierleys and on Spotify under Soulmates and Suitcases. And I am very excited to have our special guest in today. And Lynette, I'm excited you're our first guest in today. And this is a topic I think that is very near and dear to Scott and I. As Scott mentioned, he has diabetes, which he definitely prioritizes what goes in his mouth in regards to food. And for me, I began a journey about 5-6 years ago now on learning that how I look at food is our medicine. So understanding and learning so much about food, and so much has been, I suppose, revealed to us with food over the last even 10 years. It's incredible. So welcome to our podcast, Lynette, and share a little bit about yourself, your mission, and what got you started with all of this.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. My name's Lynette May Jacovich. I got started really also interested in food probably the last 40, 50 years. I remember when I was working in corporate, always used to help the ladies. We used to choose salads and healthy things and be interested in what they served when we had meetings and things like that. But the last few years, I got more so involved in additives and what goes in our food, when I saw so many friends dying and getting sick of all these diseases, which was not around many, many years ago. And I thought, what was the difference? And it all came back to food. And then I began listening to many, many doctors and specialists and on all these podcasts and all these talks, and got really deep into it. And they all saying the same thing and talked about additives and what's in our food and how we've been told one thing where now it's coming out that what we're being brainwashed is not really true. So learning so much about that. And then about 6 years ago, my youngest grandson, I'm a mother of 3 and 6 grandchildren, and my youngest 2 have autism, but different strains of autism, very clever, very intelligent, but it's there. And then she came over and they got a mental breakdown once, and then I thought, well, what's doing this? And then we looked into the foods and like colors and sugars and all that sort of stuff, and additives in foods which can add to all this. So yeah, and I just like digging deep. I love investigating. I love listening to it, and I love all that sort of stuff. So I've learned a lot.
Amazing. So you have that personal connection, right? Often that's what inspires us, right? When we have this personal thing hit home, and it kind of lights a little fire under us and gets us going. So you haven't done this all your life. So is this kind of your big mission, and what do you plan to do with it in the future?
I haven't done it all my life. I've been interested in it, but I haven't done it all my life. But in the future, I want to go on stages. I want to talk about it. I want to get it out there and let people be aware of looking at things before they buy something, and not always believing what we're being told, either adverts or on labels. Read the back of the labels, not just the front of the labels, and how things are on there to get your attention, and the better things are in front of you, like the bad things, and the better things are up above the shelf and down the bottom. So yeah, it's just getting it out there and going to talk on stages and trying not influence, but make people aware so they can make better choices.
Yes, totally. Kind of like what we have definitely come to understand.
So is it true that when you're reading the label, the higher content is the first stuff in there, or is it?
Yes, yeah. It goes from highest, and as you go through the labels to the lowest. So if you see sugar first or other additives, well, that's the most in it. So where sugar should be right down the bottom, things like that. So look at all the ingredients and then you look at all the additives.
So can you explain to us, because even for myself, I don't know what additive means in regards to what I'm reading on a label. So when someone's going to the grocery store, like what is kind of the red flags they need to look at?
Oh, there's lots of them. In meat, they put nitrites and nitrates, which changes the color of your meat. So meat, once you kill an animal, it's not bright red anymore. So why is your meat bright red in the shops? Because they put nitrites and nitrates on it to make it bright red, because you won't buy it if it looks a funny color. But if that's all that's in the shop, wouldn't you still buy it? You know, these sort of things. And then they've got a glue that they glue meat together. So it makes a piece of steak, things like that. Not all butchers do, but a lot of them do it. There's what is additive MSG. There's a lot of things that are man-made. A lot of things like salt and drying stuff was always around for many, many years, because people were doing that for 100 years ago. But now man is making all these additives, which are cheap to use, cheap to make, compared to the real thing. And there's good additives, there's bad additives. Yes, I'm for the good additives because you need some of them, but there's a lot of them you don't need, and people don't understand why they are in our food in the first place. And a lot of them are making us sick, and they shouldn't be there. But there's no authority that says don't put them in. There's nothing governing it. And even colors, all the colors, there's many colors now. The USA are now banning, and companies have got 2 years to get the red color and the yellow color out of their products, but they've given them 2 years because now they realize that it could be causing cancer and other things. But there's organizations that have been saying this for the last 10 years or 20 years, but they haven't realized it. And because money works in so many different ways. And now they're pushing it, and it's been legislated now. So they've got 2 years to get rid of these colors, because, or like people hyperactivity, people with autism, all that sort of stuff should not be having these colors anyway, because it just adds to it. So that's so important why you need to watch additives, because if you've got underlying illness, it could exacerbate it even more, even do liver damage, cancerogenic, all sorts of things.
Yes.
Would the additives also add different bowel movements and stuff? Because I found here in Thailand, like in Canada, when that happens, it's you're getting rid of you're getting rid of more than you are here. And I think it's kind of because we process the food's better, so we process more of the food rather than just go right through our bodies. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, yeah. I know when I eat a lot of gluten, because I try and keep away from it, like bread and that sort of stuff. But the other day I did it, and I was out at a friend's, and I ate too much beautiful pizzas, and then I felt it afterwards.
Yeah.
And when you're not used to it, and then you give something to your body, it goes, hold on, this isn't part of what I normally have, And I use the analogy of a car. So your car runs on fuel, sort of fuel. If you put diesel in your car, well, it's not going to run properly, and vice versa. So I treat your body as a machine and look after it same as you do your car. So what you put in, you get out.
Yeah, totally. And marketing and packaging can be so inviting. I had a friend the other day do a live video, and she was all excited. She got a product from Amazon in Canada, and the package was called Farm Girl. So it's interesting how things lure you in. However, the cereal, the bag of cereal looked like, and I don't know if I can say this out loud, looked like Fruit Loops. And so I was like, ooh. So it is interesting. We really do need to be conscious about reading what's in products. And I know one of our bottom lines here, because we're in Thailand and we don't know Thai. So reading some of the ingredients doesn't always translate well for us. Is that if we can stay with, I'll call it whole foods, not packaged, not processed, that definitely helps. But you're, Lynette, you are in, where are you again? Can you tell us and what?
I'm in Perth, Western Australia.
Yes, in Australia. So I'm assuming maybe compared to North America, you might see similar advertising and promoting of products.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think America is worse because they allow more additives and most of the bad ones in their food, and they're really promoting that so much compared to Australia. And what I don't understand is why is it banned, something is banned, let's say Australia or Europe, and then it's allowed in America, things like that. So to me, we're all the same. So if one country bans it, why don't all the other countries go, oh, let's see your research. Okay, we should ban it too. Why is it, oh, we have to do our research? Well, hold on, what are your body different to mine?
I know.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, different politics, different economics, all that comes into play, that's for sure. And we do need to, like you said, be aware, be conscious of the additives. So did you have something there to share or show in regards to looking at any ingredients or what that looks like?
No, not really. Oh, I can give you one thing. A friend of mine bought this. My husband's in hospital at the moment, so a friend of ours, well, I don't know if you have Tim Tams.
I have that in my freezer. A friend from Australia
There
brought.
is nothing good in this, nothing whatsoever. So
All
I
right.
went,
So can you be specific what you're noticing that is not great for our health?
okay, like this, the chocolate in here is not really chocolate. But it's all additives put together to make the chocolate, and you'd be surprised the colors, what they can put together to make a chocolate coating, to make it look like chocolate, so it doesn't taste like chocolate. And that's in many of these things, because if they had proper chocolate on it, it will cost you a lot more than what it does. Sweetness, the sugar, the additives in it, and this is what else has got uh like, so anything soya you should watch out for. And here it's got soy, it's got 470, the flavor 476, E476. In Europe, they put an E in front of it. I think, I'm not sure in America, but Australia is the same number all around the world, but we don't put the E in front of it.
Yeah.
So but now these days, you can look up all these additives on your phone. You can, if you're not sure of the number, you can I used to years ago take a photograph of the list of ingredients, and then I will go home and I'll research it before, and then next time if it's safe or whatever, I'll go back to the shop and buy it. But now I just look at it straight in the shop because I've got the hang of it now. So it's quick to look at, and look at your fats and look at your sugars compared to the serving size and see. That's what you look at, how much of that is in there. And even these things, I know people say they could eat a whole packet. I'm lucky if I could take one bite of this, and it's too sweet because I'm not used to having sugar now or anything sweet. And now when I do have something extra sweet, it's disaster. It makes me sick because I cook a lot of cakes and biscuits, and I love doing it. And then I just give it to the grandkids and family, or if I'm going somewhere. But I watch how much sugar I put in it, and even jams, and I put honey or maple syrup or something more natural, as well as proper sugar, not all these other sugars that are man-made. Natural sugar costs you a lot more. So that's why they now make a lot of fructose and all that sort of stuff and all these other sugars, because it's very cheap.
Yeah.
And they don't need a lot because it's about 200 times sweeter than sugar.
What is, sir? You repeat that?
It's about 200 times sweeter than sugar, all these sugars that are man-made.
Oh, the
Wow.
man-made. Yeah, it's crazy. I think there actually has been some research how even all the diet sort of things, the aspartames and all those sort
Yes.
of things,
Yeah.
makes you crave more food, makes you
Yes.
hungrier.
They do. And you've got maltodextrin too, which is another bad one. MSG in your food, keep away from that. Because I know my daughter and my niece get headaches and stomach aches from MSG. And that upsets my stomach as well. So if you're going into a restaurant, you just make sure that they haven't been using MSG, and that if they can make a particular dish without using MSG, sometimes they can, otherwise you choose another one.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about MSG? Like in Canada, if I go to a Chinese smorgasbord, Chinese food, I would get gut bombs so bad, so I stopped going for years.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard in Thailand here, they apparently put MSG on everything.
Oh,
And I don't
cracking.
get gut bomb here. So
Yeah.
is it different MSG here than it is in our countries where we get gut bomb, or is it?
I think they're used to it, so it doesn't bother them, but I would just not have it because it's really bad for you. So I don't know why they're having it. It's yeah, it's a bad additive. If you're not used to it, some people get affected, some people don't. Maybe some people do get affected, but don't realize it comes back to MSG. Yeah, but I know I went to in Sydney, and I went to a Chinese restaurant with a whole group of friends, and myself and another girl had sanchoy bao, which is the lettuce with the filling inside. So we asked the Chinese guy, because all the others wanted to go there, can he make this without MSG? Because two of us didn't want the MSG. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So he did make it without the MSG. So, yeah, so you could always ask.
That is definitely a challenge. So a few things, the oils, and I don't know if you look at oils as well, the MSG and that sort of seasonings that, or I don't know if you call it a seasoning or spice, what you call MSG, and sugar. So those are probably like the three biggest challenge traveling in Thailand and not, or anywhere in the world where you don't speak the same language.
And then we even bought what we thought was butter.
Oh yeah.
And then found out it's not butter.
Oh, wow.
Mostly.
MSG is a food enhancer. It's a flavor enhancer.
Yeah. So like a seasoning.
Yeah. So why don't you use herbs and spices, which are much better for you, much healthier, do a lot more for your body than MSG, which is man-made. Actually, MSG started years ago. I think it was Japanese started it, but then it just went to America and went around the world. But why do we need to use that for flavor enhancer? Taste the natural food.
Yeah, exactly. And I know for us, typically we choose as much whole food as we can. Not always easy to do that. And you want a little, I won't call it a treat because it doesn't treat your body. A little off diet food is good. Once in a blue moon, that's okay. Like this morning's breakfast included everything from bok choy we had, onion, two kinds of peppers, mushroom, egg, and then we had an avocado. So like, you know, a lot and a little bit of cheese sprinkled in there. And so yeah, it is about stopping and being conscious about it, but having those specifics, like you said, nitrates are big ones, MSG, anything else on that list?
Oh, what else? There's quite a few of them. There's many bad ones. Jeff,
Is there a place, Lynette, do you have any of this information where we can see what you're posting, or what do you have to offer that way?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And if you want to get onto my group, I post lots of information all about additives and foods and what to be aware of. And what I do, I make a lot of my jams. I like my pickles and things like that. So I've got pictures of those up. And it's under, I'm just going to get the right name for you. Additive Awareness for Parents. So if you want to go onto that Facebook page or my Facebook group, and I've got a Facebook page as well. It's personal profile, it's not a page. Additive Awareness for Parents is my group, and my name is Lynette May Jacovich under my profile. So if you go onto that and you'll see lots of information on additives and foods. And yeah, and that's all I post mostly about. A bit about myself and my life and my family, but a lot about additives and foods and what to look out for so people are aware. And I go into the supermarkets and I do stories on products as well.
Oh,
And cereals, and like you say, I'm pleased that you had that for breakfast, because there's only a few countries like Australia, America, I'm not sure about Canada, but the West countries that have a cereal that was pushed by organisations that we have to have this cereal, whereas we should be having what we have for breakfast and what we have for lunch and dinner, and have for breakfast like what you had, like even poached eggs, and sometimes I have a bit of spinach that's wilted down. Avocado is great. You know, we should be having these things for breakfast, not
yeah.
cereal, which is full of sugar, full of additives, more so sugar than anything.
What,
And
oh,
sorry.
what's your opinion on how some people like go vegetarian or vegan, or versus there's the new diet where people go meatitarian, where they only eat meat?
Eating meat is not really good for you, and a lot of people are looking at that now and saying it's not good for you. You're better off to be vegetarian or just eat plant-based foods. If you're eating meat, it should be grass-reared and grass-fed, not fed man-made products, because that changes the meat, and then you don't know what they're eating. But if it's grass-reared and grass-fed, it's better. I eat a lot of fish, more so fish, prawns, fish, tuna, salmon, that sort of stuff. So we eat a lot of that. My son goes fishing a lot, so I get a lot of fish, and I had crabs last night, which was beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
But but those sort of things. So yeah, try and stick to more plant-based products than anything, because it's much healthier for you. It's got all your minerals. Your greens have all your minerals in them. Your cruciferous vegetables, which are your greens, like your bok choy, your cabbage, that sort of stuff, you know. And they're quick and easy to make. It doesn't take long to make a beautiful meal, you know.
Yeah.
Just put your thinking hats on, and you can Google easy recipes today. My goodness, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, the internet is a plethora of choices, that's for sure. And I think with any choice that we make, whether you're eating meat or vegetables even, or even drinking water, which we have to be conscious of here, it's to be aware of where it's coming from, what the environment it's from, what it's been fed, whether it's, pesticides or whether it's been given additives. Like, it is about being more conscious, whatever it is you're consuming.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
And now they're saying not to have bottled water. We should keep away from bottled water. We
Yes,
should be drinking water that's the fluoride's taken out, and all the other things have been taken out of our water. But bottled water the plastic can leach monoplastics, little plastic particles into your water. So now it's a big push to get rid of the plastic bottles, you know.
I saw that post just yesterday about someone saying that if you drink, I didn't know what the exact statistics were, but if you drink bottled water over whatever time frame he gave, it says it accumulates to as big as a credit card you've just eaten or it consumed.
Yes.
Wow.
Those plastic particles, they've even found them inside your body and inside children as well. So yeah, because they did samples of seawater, and even in the seawater, it's in there. So just keep away from it. When I see people put those plastic bottles in the sun, and then that's a no-no also. And plastic in microwaves, that's a no-no.
As well. I totally hear you. It's amazing information, Lynette. It's been very informative today. And when or if someone has a question for you, where can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me, Lynette May Jacovich, on my Facebook page. And you've got my group is called Additive Awareness for Parents. If you want to go on to that, I will let you know on the group. Go into the group. You'll find lots of information and great advice.
Perfect. We'll include that in the write-up, Lynette. Thank you so much again. And we're very happy that you joined us on our 5th podcast of Soulmates and Suitcases. Thanks, Lynette.
Thanks,
And
Lynette.
from
My pleasure.
Thailand,
Thank
we'll
you,
say
both of you.
Kapun
Kapun
ka.
ka.
You cherish and you love me more as every day goes by. And I feel so lucky that I get to call you mine. No matter what comes our way, I can always say, I know we'll win the fight. Baby, it's you and me, here's to the rest of our lives.